Hello everyone, and thanks for joining week 4 of the She Will Initiative. Thank you so much for viewing the video, subscribing, for liking, for even sending me messages. It's really encouraging for me to know that this is helping you as much as it's helping me. I really appreciate everyone coming on the journey with me. And if you're still doing 29 days of self-discovery, I encourage you to continue. I will be putting up a video next week of some of my insights that I gained from my own 29 days of discovery that I did, to encourage you and to really help inspire you to really get to know yourself and understand what your purpose is in God. So today we're actually going to talk about the topic of taking some initiative. And I really wanted to talk through a verse that intrigued me this week, James 2:14 through 17. It's faith without works is dead, generally. And what the verse says is, what does it profit, my brethren, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can faith save him? Is a brother or sister naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you says to them, depart in peace, be warmed and filled, but you don't give them the things which are needed for the body? What does it profit? Thus also, faith by itself, if it doesn't have works, is dead. A lot of times people talk through this verse and they always talk about faith and works and how that works together. And I really wanted to use an example that I got from the sweetest little girl in the world, my niece, N.A. The other day, I was with her, and she's still in that phase where she's walking, but you know, when they're not that stable on their legs, she's one. And she was standing in front of me, and she loves shiny things. She's such a girl. She loves shiny things. So I took one of her mom's bracelets and I wanted her to come get it from me because we're still kind of practicing with her. And so I had the bracelet in my hand and I was dangling it, and she was looking at it and she wanted it, and she started to take a step, but she hesitated. And then she started getting distracted because her little brother was screaming, and he was kind of screaming for her to get the bracelet, and it distracted her from actually getting the bracelet. And it really made me think of the fact that a lot of times God has our blessing within his hands, and sometimes he's just waiting for us to walk and go get it. I think a lot of times as Christians, we kind of fall into that trap of, if I just pray for it, it'll happen. And there are some things that if you pray for it, God will just drop it out of the sky. But for most things, there is some initiative that's going to come from you. i.e., you really want to be in a relationship, but you don't want to date. You don't want to meet any new guys. It's going to be a little bit hard for you to get in a new relationship if you're not meeting people. You want to make new friends, but you don't want to leave the house to meet new people. It's going to be hard for you to do that if you're not taking those works on your own. And I think that's what the verse means, that without some initiative on your side, you can believe that it's going to happen, but if you just have beliefs without the work, it won't work. So that's the reason why I'm talking about taking the initiative. One thing that I listened to in one sermon was that, and it was about dating, and one of the guys said, it's very hard for you to be in a relationship if you don't make yourself available to anybody. And I thought it was funny because a lot of times, sometimes you hear the whole thing, let's not meet anyone and everything like that, and that won't help you if you really are trying to meet somebody. But you have to do it in a God-centered way, and that I think is the caveat. So I have 3 things that I think really help in regards to moving in faith, but still, you know, taking some initiative on your side, but in a God-centered way. And this could relate to anything. You want a new job, you want new friends, you want a husband, you know, you want a new opportunity. This could relate to anything. And I really do believe that God will always give you a helping hand if you first take the necessary steps in pushing yourself forward. So here are just some tips on working your faith. That's what I want to call it. So number one, align your desires with God's desires. One prayer that I felt really helped me is when I started praying for God to align what He wanted with what I want, so that I could be praying for the right things. I think a lot of times we pray amiss and we pray for things that God doesn't want for us, and then it just leads us to frustration. But if you start to align your desires to God's desires, the things that He wants for you will become the things that you want for yourself. And essentially that's going to lead you to really being on His path. And it's not just aligning His desires to your desires, it's also aligning your life to a life that reflects a God-centered life. That allows you to consistently and always be in His will, so that you're not missing the opportunities that God sets in front of you in order for His will to take place. Number two, praying daily and fully handing over that situation to God. One thing that I realize is that sometimes with the affairs of our life that we feel aren't that necessary or relevant, we don't fully hand those situations over to the Lord. And I really do think it's important to hand those situations over to God. The reason why I do think it's important to hand these situations over to the Lord is because He's the only one who could actually help you through them. So, and you'll be surprised, even the most little situations you hand over to God, how much He can monopolize those things for you. And then number three, participate in activities and make sure that you're in environments that would foster the result that you're desiring. However, let God lead you to those environments. So if you're really praying for a spouse and you really want to know how to meet new people, let God lead you to the people that you need to meet. And just keep in mind, it's not always that you're going to meet the guy. You may meet a friend who may introduce you to the guy. Be very open-minded. God works in very mysterious ways. So just allow God to lead you to the places and the environments that you need to be in order for His will to be done. So just make sure that you're always in the right spirit, in the right mode, in the right intention when you're doing these things. And that pretty much sums it up for today. It's a short day today, but I also want everyone to really focus on their last couple of days of the 29-day journey. So I talked about this in one of my first videos, and I left the link below if you missed it, so that you can join the 29-day journey. You can join late, you can finish whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's really about the outcome. And my video next week, which would be like a midweek video, will be again about some insights that I had from the 29-day journey. So that about does it for this week. Please let me know if there's anything that you would like to talk about. If you had any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, I'm open to hearing all of your thoughts. So again, I will, you will, she will. Thanks for joining.